Okay, so today I'm going to be doing a throwback to one of my favorite series ever, obviously Ace Attorney, but I haven't played one of the games in a long time. I guess the last one I tried to play it, I used this custom cursor for too. The Great Ace Attorney, and what did I do before that? I guess Professor Layton, or maybe I did that after, because I was doing them as first playthrough permadeath as well. So I'd love to do that for like Ace Attorney 6. But because I failed Great Ace Attorney, I was banished, and I had to do the stupid shameless crossover, Professor Layton, and then I failed that in some condition too, like lost to a puzzle. But no, here I'll go through Ace Attorney Online, which is a really cool resource, and there's another Ace Attorney Online where it's like a chat room type of environment where you get to play as the characters and kind of do all the different sprites. So I'll do that next week as part of the same sort of, I do 2 episodes of each of these throwbacks. So I did Town of Salem for 2 episodes because I hadn't played that in years. Then I did the WoW Hardcore Classic Season of Discovery No Abilities character for 2 episodes. Then I did Cataclysm Classic for 2 episodes, and I guess I did those 2 back to back just because I'm so cheap that I subscribed for a month. So I'm like, fuck it, I'll just do it anyway, right? I may as well do it so I get full value for the 4 weeks, because I do it once a week and the subscription lasts a month. And so now this time I'll do this and sort of build a case. For the first time in a long time. I did use this before. I did make some. I can't really remember, but I'm more known for like doing short story type stuff and like one-off quotes and short form sort of writing where that can be pretty good. Like I'll have all these good quotes and RP lines and stuff, but I'm not so good at I should just do one where I like combine every RP line I've ever had, and that would be in itself very substantial. But or like some of these character archetypes basically. But again, it's going to be more emphasis on the story than the mystery or anything like that. But I'll try to make it about that too. And so, I obviously love detective fiction. I always reference certain things like whatever, Death Note or The Mentalist or something. So yeah, Rise from the Ashes is probably the best case in the whole series. I always rave about that, even though some people are a little jaded to it and have their issues. One of the funny things about some of the best cases is they're not premeditated, like the killings. Like Von Karma just goes to the elevator and everybody happens to be passed out and the gun's at his foot. So even though he's such a perfectionist, he doesn't actually plan that out. And the same thing is true like with Damon Gant. I have that little video. Damon Gant's biggest fan, something, won't let him live it down. Let me see. Basically the biggest flaw with my video doesn't even show up. Basically just saying, how does he get the body of Bruce Goodman out from the evidence room to the trunk of Edgeworth's car in a busy police department where there's cameras and everything? You could say, oh, he's chief of police, but it still doesn't fully explain that, right? Like that's one. Usually they'd have like some sort of evidence. Oh, he put it in this evidence container, or he put it in this wheelbarrow, like they do with Quercus Alba and the thing. What do you call it? In the Turnabout, what the fuck is it called? Turnabout Ablaze, my favorite villain, and I don't remember even the case that he's in. You salesmen competing for your attention. This is how you... Oh, the stupid little bots, yeah. So, what are the games I haven't played? So I haven't played Great Ace Attorney, or I guess I played it briefly and lost in the first case to my first playthrough permadeath run. So Great Ace Attorney 1 and 2 I haven't beaten. I haven't beaten Professor Layton. I also failed in that one. And then Spirit of Justice I beat. I haven't done the DLC for a lot of those. Or I actually failed in the DLC of the other one too. Like Dual Destinies with the fish or whatever, the dolphin case. So obviously, I think I played all of them besides just those 3 probably then. Both Great Ace Attorneys and just the DLC. And obviously Professor Layton, which almost doesn't count because that's just dumb. Or like a stupid crossover. So yeah, we'll go ahead, we'll make one. Again, the emphasis for me is more like RP, like it's a writing stream, short story style. And then the secondary is going to be all the mystery elements. I won't emphasize that too much. But what's cool about this is I used this like fucking probably 16 years ago. I remember doing it like during Wrath of the Lich King when that was live. Like I was in Grizzly Hills leveling, on my warrior or something. So this is like 16 years ago before I even ever streamed or anything. And I'm just like all tabbing out because I'm like killing some mobs and I keep working on a case or something. So this is a very fun, awesome thing to do. Maybe I'll even make them public if I don't know if it even just lets you do that, but make it public if I like it. But more than likely what's going to happen here is I'll just work on it a little bit and then I'll never finish it, because next time for this I'm going to do the online where you actually get to talk to people in like the chat room setting. maybe we can take part in a case or just kind of see what it's all about. And then from there, that would be really fun if you were an established creator. I even use that a little bit to do some of my debates, that we would have people in chat on my old channel. A couple of them, you know, I would be the judge usually, and they would be on each side and making the argument there. That's how much I like the whole RP of doing it when you're debating like serious subjects. But no, I'll probably just start it and then I won't really finish it. But that's why it's good just to kind of get the feel for it. I don't know what this is. I don't think I made that myself. Like, let's just delete it. I didn't do anything. This is actually a good idea. What if I just bring out all my RP lines and all my RP names, and it'll just be like my RP fucking fiesta, even if it has nothing to do with this. Let's see, how do you just make one? Manager, create new tribe. No, but this was way ahead of its time. It's pretty much, you know, it seems a little stale now, although it still serves its purpose. But, you know, 15, 16 years ago, you could do this, and this was very impressive. So let's not use the turnabout thing. I'm just going to be winging this as I go, but I am a quote machine when it comes to some of these things, just between all the short stories and stuff I've written and all the RP and stuff I've done. What is it doing? And I'm using this little Phoenix Wright cursor, although I don't know. Maybe I have to just, I don't know what's happening. I forget how this really works. Maybe it is just the mouse that's fucked up. Like, it's not. Sometimes this will be difficult to use. What the fuck? Already lost. I should have just used the one that's already there. Hold on. Let me turn off the website. Enables you to highlight your creativity. Not a way to avoid. Yeah, it's nothing to do with that. But for some reason, you might say it's not. What happened there? It's not allowed or something. But I don't think that would be an issue. And there's even a category for it, I'm pretty sure. Okay, let's try to get this to work. I'm even raving about it, but now it's going to cuck me, and I think it must be something to do with the cursor, because it sort of fucks up what you're clicking on in a way you don't mean to. Oh, wait, what? Oh, it like bugged out and fucking... I'm going to get banned for making so many of these. It's called one step ahead, not a fucking million steps ahead. So it made that many of them, which I don't care. Let's just do the first one. It was either just lagging, or again, my clicks aren't really registering or something. Alright, one step ahead, public release, no. I guess you can just do it without any oversight either, or maybe they'll review it. Collaborator, playtester. Okay, here we go. Let's actually see what the meat is all about, and I'll listen to some of this Phoenix Wright music in the process of doing it. Yeah, this is a throwback not only to the Ace Attorney series, but basically to my writing streams too that I would do. It's sort of hard to explain, or you'd feel like, I don't know, it's not something that very many people would do, or even probably still do. But I guess you could say it's a novel form of content, because, you know, novel, like writing a novel. Okay, here we go. What you're doing here is basically a storyboard. And what I might do in certain cases is I would be like, okay, I'll just rip off of something and do like a... I could do that too. Let's rip off of 2 IPs. We'll rip off of Phoenix Wright, but we'll do... I could do my Think Like Jane, which is very detective-esque, like the alternate ending to... I could do some alternate endings. That actually might be more interesting. Let me do a little bit of this, and then I'll mess around with that later. But like, I take a series that I don't like the ending for it, and then I make my own. I had one for Death Note that... There's a character that looks just like Nier, or that would fit with Nier perfectly. Let's look at who we have here, actually. Like maybe Machi Tobai was Nier, and I was like role-playing the thing when Nier's taking down... Let me actually, because you can listen to the music here, can't you? Let me do that scene, just because I want to show it. It was like a pretty perfect visual representation of it, and I can't remember... Fuck. It must have been Machi, right? Let's try to get familiar with the characters. They're gonna... This cursor is gonna mess me up, isn't it? Use custom pictures, so you could invent like your own characters. Either the website itself is laggy, which I certainly won't complain about. I think it would make sense for it to be him, right? So you have... Let's just pretend. Okay, it's Nier, and it is, you know, just N, I guess would make sense, male. And then we'll go here like light, or you could do it here like Kira, like this is their code name, and then this is light. So let's just give an example of how satisfying this can be to look at. So who would be light? I guess Edgeworth kind of suits it just because he's so smart and badass himself. Let's see if we can come up with a different example for it. Aw, man, is it really going to be like this? I don't see why the cursor would matter that much with, what the fuck? It's just always a little off. I just want to use the stupid Phoenix right finger point. And then we put in like the little music and stuff. If I can just fucking do this. Okay, who would I put besides Edgeworth? Would make probably the most sense. Joe Dark. You can use that for, you know, just any unknown generic character. Like within this format alone, there's a million awesome creative things you can do. That's what I love about it. Like there's no limit. You can recreate stuff. You can make alternate endings. You can make your own stuff. You know, there's probably a lot of good cases I could play through. You can go back and do like the old school storyline of Neil Marshall or Manfred von Karma, like certain things they don't. Where is Edgeworth? What's going on? Oh, you know, maybe they don't have him because he didn't have. Wait, no, I don't get it. Additional. Oh, here we go. Main characters. I guess Edgeworth kind of makes sense. Where the fuck is he? Here, Miles Young. Maybe that one sort of makes sense. Not that he's really that young. But like at the beginning of the series. So let's say that's Light. Light Yagami and that. So let's just say we were to do I said I wouldn't do these things, but okay, storyboard, insert a frame. So now there was a particular song that fit with this super well too. I remember this sort of vividly. It was from like Investigations 2, and it was like the depressing theme of some sort of what is it, like a reminiscence theme. Let's see, House of Lang, man who masterminds the game. Endgame, Fall of House of Lang. It's not that one. It was, I think it's this one. Music and editor. Select track. Music playing in this frame. I'm a little confused. What happened? Unchanged. IS7 incident. So this is the one with like Gregory Edgeworth's father and stuff. 205. Okay. So can we actually play it out? So now it would be like, write out some of those lines. I'm going to be plagiarizing, but I'm just doing it to display it. After this, I won't do it. Or I'll plagiarize at least in my own original way. So now we'll have to put out like when Light's being all disappointed. So it's a good framing of it. Like you would have to put in Light over here. Or you could change it from Light to Kira based on like whether he's thinking. So now you'll put it in his thought bubble here, right? That's how they represent it. Like near, I'm so disappointed in you. I'm trying to remember the lines exactly. Let's see. Like when he's gloating in episode 36. Yeah, but you know, near, you did have a chance to win if only you'd taken it. You're just too naive. You're nothing. So like this is the glory of a lost legend. Like Gregory Edgeworth, like that's what the song represents. Gregory being this legend of law from the past that you're sort of lamenting. So he's saying like he's almost lamenting. L would have considered the possibility of a fake notebook. Okay, let's do that just to get the point across. So he's disappointed even though he's winning. Right, typing speed. So who do we put as like the thing? Place could be, I think we did like the warehouse in like, see, like it fits so well with everything. That's what it shows you. You can pick any scene. It's the warehouse in like Trials and Tribulations where he's a talking character sprite, doesn't really matter. Because he's not really even talking, he's sort of thinking. Talking animation mode, do not talk. And then where's the actual area though? Place. Predefined place. It's like somewhere in the, wait, what? That's it? No. They had way more than this. How do you do this? Screen position. No, smooth scrolling. What the fuck? Why? Oh, why don't they have more than that? I know I used it before too. Like they had the little, I guess it doesn't matter, but in fact I was even just doing that. Oh, maybe I have to add the place here. So will it save this now? This is so well done. Like whoever made this is a fucking genius though, because you got to remember, this is like in the age of, you know, even today it's impressive, but wow, this is actually great. Background objects, foreground objects, but what about just the place? Give me Ace Attorney 3, and it's that stupid ass place of the. This makes it seem like there's very few. How can there be that few places in the game? This is all we get? That's impossible. What the fuck? Like, you talk about good budgeting. Blue Science, Atmy's office. You end up going to the same places over and over, I guess. But what about Furia Tigre and stuff? Would that really? I almost can't believe that the whole game is just that many environments. What was I looking at? This one, Lordly Taylor basement, right? Would it be that one, or like the statue represents L, let's say, or it could be, or like Near could be sitting on this side and Light could be on the other side. So let me change it to the other one. It's that final confrontation scene basically that you're recreating to show. We could show the alternate ending where Near actually dies. I don't know why I'm so easily amused by stuff like this, but it just sort of fits. Yeah, I'm a god storyboarder. My name is George Lucas. So you have the place is going to be this one, and let's just put a frame of Near. Oh, but he's facing the wrong way now. Is that for the character or what? I don't know what the fuck is going on. He's just looking sort of the wrong way. Let me play it then. You are about to save in the format. When we process, you will not be able to save for the. Okay, that's fine. Wait, let's just play test and see what happens. So this will be the one thing. See, this music fits so well. So if you imagine him going through that whole speech, which I'm too lazy to write out all the way, he's almost lamenting like, oh, Al would have never let this happen. The same way that you're lamenting like Gregory did his best to try to stop Manfred, and it's like this lost legend and sadness that you have with it. And so it would almost make sense if you're on the other side. Let me just try to get this one part right. So this would be, the place would be the other one then. So let me just try to get the two dynamics in here. So the place will be Ace Attorney 3, the other one with the statue. I almost wanted it to be the opposite. So now Light will be on that one. Storyboard. I gotta find like a thing like this for other, you know, just what is a game that lets you do this with a bunch of assets, not within a universe like this, but just anything, just generally a game that's made for this kind of purpose to sort of tell stories. And that should be more of like a genre that there are things like that. So here now it makes sense. And then the second frame will be like Near just kind of sitting all he doesn't know, Pepe laugh. Just to show like he's completely clueless and has no idea. Music is going to be music already used, nice. And then you have voice doesn't matter, so let's just put Machi Tobe. Wait, how do we put the character? Oh, choose a talking character N, character sprite. Default sprite. He's also not talking. Confirm. So let's just see this play out. We'll put the background now as the other one. The one like on the left side. I mean, it does take a little bit of work, but it's kind of worth it. And again, we're going to mostly be original with it, but I just wanted to show this. I just remember doing this one and thinking it looked really cool. Like, it just fits. You could do the whole monologue, basically. I would consider the possibility of taking over. I'm so disappointed in you, basically, he's saying. And then they're in the warehouse sort of just chilling, and you got the whole task force in the background. So the environment looks like it. The characters kind of do justice to it. right? It just fits so well. I think the music especially fits extremely well with that scene. You could do an edit of that scene and be like, you know, just put that in there and it would sort of fit. Right, so now let's actually change it to something else. Let me try to come up with something actually fully original, which I'm going to maybe have some trouble doing. Let's see. We'll do like a serious subject that has to do with cannot delete this frame. Oh, okay, we can just delete the storyboard itself then. I could spend so much fucking time doing this. If I had more time, I would too. Like, it's so good. Okay, so let's get serious now. I'm done ripping off other universes. So let me think carefully about what sort of story I want to tell. Right, so it's going to be a story of a very intelligent young person. So I don't know how to. This was some short story. You know what? Maybe I'll rehash an old short story because nobody would. This is going to be like way different than what you'd expect, though. Let me see. What would their name be? Or maybe they should have remained nameless. It's like this bad character, like this bad young person, right? But he's very, very smart, so he keeps getting away with stuff. It's almost like a better version of the good son now that I think about it, but I never thought about it like that at the time. Hide at the start. So what would be sort of their alias, though? That's what they would be sort of known as, but what would their name be then? You know, why don't we do it like that then? We can combine the two. We won't even give him a last name. Right, and we won't give away too much information either. So now I'm combining two different RP characters together. Right, so the Aral character was always somebody... No, this is kind of dumb, though. Those should almost be two separate characters where they... you know what, it's okay. So Aral was always a guy who was the inventor of... He's like this Elon Musk, not really, because this is before I even knew who Elon Musk was, but like this figure who is so capable, right, in so many different fields that nobody can question him. So I had that one very notable scene in one of my stories where it's like he's sitting at a table with all the world leaders and he's talking shit to every single one of them and they can't say anything because they all rely on him for, you know, different things. Oh, we need your fuel company. We need this from you. We need Starlink, you know, like Elon. We need so many things, so we can't say shit to you, and you're talking shit to us, and you just have to take it because you know he's right, and he's more capable than you. So he cures cancer, and he's the world's first trillionaire, and he invents renewable energy, and he terraforms Mars, and he does everything. So there's nothing you can question because he's just too valuable of an asset. Right, so you have to stay on his good side even if he's a total dick. So it's like this elitist victim blamer type of guy that I always talk about. And so who would best signify this guy's appearance? It could be this guy, or it could be somebody who looks relatively... That could work, but I mean, just sort of leave it to your imagination. Right, so... He's relatively young. We can leave certain things to interpretation, right? Well, we'll get some of the good parts across. So that's fine. How will that work with How will that work with when they talk, though? I wonder. Like, okay, let's say we make Joe Dark talk. What the fuck happens? Because he doesn't have a proper sprite animation. I actually wonder. So how do you do this here? You gotta have character sprite, none. Yeah, see, there is no thing for him. So could you maybe do a different sprite than the one you have for damn, I almost wanted to use that one. Let me try to change it. But no, that's the point. So now he could be up to no good in killing people, but you know, like, think about basically the bravado you have. This is the same guy who, even as a kid at 15 years old, he was the world's first 2900 rated chess. I could make these all a list of accomplishments. At 15, world's first 2900 rated chess player. At 20, or no, that's even too young. At 10, world's first 2900 rated chess player. By 15, world's first trillionaire. invented renewable energy. What else? Cured cancer, like just all these incredible, and terraformed the moon, let's say. Expected to terraform. People always make the Elon Musk comparison here, but it's just the principle. Like, what are the most impressive things you could do? Terraform Mars by 20, basically 20 years old. So what else did I see? He cures cancer, he invents renewable energy, he terraforms something, right? And I just added that chess thing in since I'm so obsessed with chess. It was just to show, like, okay, this guy is so capable. He was just a lazy clown like me who plays games all day. But then once he does that, he feels satisfied. And then by 15, world's first trillionaire invented renewable energy, cured cancer, and terraformed the moon. Expected to terraform Mars by 20. So now he turns into like some sort of key suspect, but think about the bravado that gives you, right? Oh, we're accusing this person who's so smart and done all these things. So don't you think that if somebody like that was to kill somebody or commit a crime, that you wouldn't be able to catch them because they're so fucking smart? Like, that's the whole point, that you'd be scared. Like, oh shit, maybe they did do it, but you're never gonna fucking catch them. So it'd have to be somebody relatively young, so that we're saying that they're only between 15 and 20. And so I can leave that kind of to interpretation. Right. So Ace Attorney 2. I don't want to use Machi Tobei. It's got to be somebody who has like almost a dry. Yeah, it could be Regina Berry, the greatest unpunished criminal in Ace Attorney history, where she kills Bat, or he puts him in a coma. It could almost be like Doug Swallow, doesn't look too. Jack Richford. Who the fuck is Jack Richford? What the fuck is that? That's the same guy anyway, isn't it? Luke Amy's too old. Rhonda Light almost looks like what we're going for. Viola Cadaverini. There's a lot of good female characters that would almost suit this. Alita Tiala is so fucking annoying and goes on for way too long. It could be Machi, I guess, but I mean, especially the fact that he wears the glasses. But some of these, I don't even know who they are. Main characters, I don't think any of these would fit. Right, it's all young female characters. You never get a young male character. That might be the best that we have. And so he's not really blind. He just wears that because he's hungover or some shit. I don't know. Who else do we have? I could spend the whole time just fucking doing this, but these are some of my character archetypes and different ideas. So at least it's cool to see this play out. Right, this would be the equivalent of just sitting at a table and just writing a story, but it sort of helps you. It helps both the audience, although I guess normally you would expect the audience just to see the finished work. You wouldn't expect them to see the process by which you make it, but it also helps you sort of imagine things a little better too and put it into perspective. So you have to remember with stuff like this is don't get lost on the little minutia of all this, even though I kind of am. Just focus on still the story that you're trying to tell. It's just a means to an end to try to express that. So here we have the simple ability to introduce some other characters. Like, let's try to almost do it out of law enforcement a little bit. Like, these are people who are above the normal conventions. Like, they're not just, oh, it's Detective Gumshoe or some shit like that. It's actually people who are like, you know, who would be another character archetype that would be worthy of this. I was almost going to pit the Abysmal Youth against Aral, but I guess I figured I'd make them both in one. So normally he doesn't have such a negative characterization. In fact, normally he's not even a bad guy. He seems bad on the surface, right? This is like how the character would progress in a story, right? He starts off and he's this dick who's talking shit to everybody, but they have to take it because he's so accomplished. And so he seems like, oh, he's selfish and greedy and after his own interest and just whatever. And like a hard ass, but you know, he gets things done. But then by the end, he'd be like an X Factor who could make the meaningful difference. Like, oh, two countries are fighting in a war, and he's the one who takes a side with one of them and determines the outcome, even though at the first he seems like, oh, he's a war profiteer, and he doesn't care as long as he both sells his weapons to both, right? So he could make the deciding difference there, even if it's still for cynical reasons. So he'd say at the end, like, they're thanking him, oh, you chose the right side, you saved the world from the evil dictatorship on the other side and we're the democracy. But then in the end he would still say something cynical like, you know, that kind of destruction would be bad for business. Like, just he's still doing it for cynical reasons just to sell his weapons, but you know, oh, they would have destroyed the world, so it would have, you know, hurt my bottom line. Like, that would be still his perspective at the end. So it is a different kind of thing. Like, he's not really a good guy. He's sort of a I don't know how you would describe it exactly. Sort of like an anti-hero, sort of just mainly like an X Factor who's going to do that. But this interpretation of him will be very different. I feel like I've forgotten a lot of my RP character names, actually. So I don't know. So let me try to introduce some other characters. Like, who would be someone who either could be out there to try to catch them, or they could be trying to basically be an ally, be a friend. We need all kind of, it'll be the opposite. Instead of you being an older character like Phoenix with a little girl following you around, it'll be the opposite. It'll be the little boy with some adult following them around, but they're the, they're really the boss. Okay, we'll go ahead, continue playing this, because obviously that was just so I could hear the music of the, although it can be a little distracting, just so I could hear the music of that one particular scene. Okay, so let's introduce the characters. Again, I'm not going to try to write a ton of it here, but this is just fun to, again, do as to introduce the possibility. It would just take me a whole lifetime to actually finish one of these. Let's see. I'm always like that, that's why short stories are more my forte. I'll just do a basic general idea, and that'll be good enough. I don't like to belabor the point and turn it into a whole big thing. So you have, and yeah, these are copyrighted. This is my fucking name. This is my whole shit, but it's okay. Even though I'm using copyrighted stuff in the whatever, but, it's like you're playing the game, and you know how much I love the games, and I don't think there'd be any issue with that. Maybe I should zoom. No, you can't zoom in, though, because you'll have all kinds of other shit appear here. So what you have now is the ability to introduce, like, his father. Aral's father. So that nickname, Abysmal Youth, would basically just to be, again, a lot of people don't like him, would call him that, or that would be sort of his nickname. Even though he's so good and capable, he's also known as a dick, elitist victim blamer, we could call it. So now, this will be an example of that, where, now here we have to come up with a proper name. What is a good RP name we could use? Who was that character in Path of Exile? I don't even know. I don't want to look it up and be like, I'm spoiled on who he is. It doesn't even show up. Like, who the fuck is he? Who is Aral? I know I saw him in there. He's just some random NPC at the starting zone. Aral's father, but what is the bigger picture point? Like, who the fuck is he, first of all? He is going to be somebody who is relatively poor. Poor and, like, maybe uneducated. But, so, it'll be this contrast where Aral keeps talking his shit to him, right? And so it's kind of like you almost get this elder abuse dynamic, but in a way that serves a good character development for the thing. So he keeps him around to do sort of mundane tasks. Aral uses him for mundane tasks and physical labor. Right, basically, so he almost mistreats him, but then again, he's giving him a certain amount of money and opportunity for it. And it's sort of, I don't know, it's like showing you, look how pathetic you were, versus me. It's like, look at what I've done and look at what you did, and sort of like, how come you couldn't do it? Don't make excuses, that kind of thing. So here it's going to be his, what is his name? This is going to be the hardest thing for me to figure out. I want to come up with names that are distinct here, like, here, this is fine. So, his father, poor and uneducated, uses him for mundane physical labor. So somehow he gave birth, though, to this guy and raised this guy who's very successful. So there must be something there that would be a factor. But he is sort of a good example continually, where he's going to constantly have shit talk to him, but he can't say anything because he knows that Aral is right. That's kind of the difference. So here we go ahead and look for somebody who would be a suitable parent. This is going to take a long time. So he'll have sort of a neutral attitude, but it could almost be Goodman. But who's somebody who almost looks a little poor? He's not going to be that old, of course, because, Aral himself is only like around between 15 and 17. So the dad is only going to be like 30 or what, like 40 maybe could be good. Robert Hammond's too old. Let's try to, yeah, it could be Neil Marshall. And that sort of shows the backwoodsy, maybe nature of himself. Acro, no. Bat, no. It could almost be him, but I don't like the whole puppet thing. Right, he'll have the stupid... Or maybe there'll be a version of him without it. Russellberry's too old, but his look is kind of good. Turner Gray is kind of not right. Juan Corrida is kind of too handsome. Max Galactica is too fresh. Let me see. I can't think of anybody who jumps out. Somebody like sort of middle age and underwhelming looking. Just sort of ordinary. Kane Ballard is a little too wealthy. You know, a lot of these people you don't even see in the game. They're just victims, but Darian Christian kind of has too fancy of a hairdo for this. This guy almost looks right, but he looks sort of too old. Like, let's see, how old is he actually in the game? Hal Maractus. He looks a little bit too old. Or maybe it doesn't even tell you. Documented age range 46. You know what? I'll do it, I guess. So he looks almost sad and whatever, disheveled by his whole circumstance in life. Okay, so now here we'll introduce some of the characters who are going to be either the victim or the people trying to catch him. And so the way that you would do that, let me try to clean up the ones I've made actually though. Like, let's get out of here and see. Yeah, I made too many of those for some reason. It won't even let me open this shit. Reduce trial manager. In fact, I have so many, it won't even let me see the trial manager now. 'Cause I kept clicking it over and over and I didn't mean to do that. Fuck. Oh, here, you gotta go on the bottom there. So, work started. How will I even know which one is the right one? Will it be the first one? Automatic backups. It must be this one, right? Fuck. How do I even know? It should be the most recently edited one. I saved it for sure. It's not gonna tell me, is it? Why would it just be randomly mixed in there too? It should totally be... Oh no, this is the one. Okay, so let me try to delete the rest of them. Open an editor. Okay, let's just make sure we don't accidentally delete that. You can edit, delete. This is gonna take a while, but... Okay, fine. It's amazing that it made that many. I don't know what this is. Delete trial, yes. Alright, we'll keep doing this. I never thought I'd actually be doing this exactly again, but it is pretty fun. Alright, so we'll delete this. Again, I don't expect to get through too much of it, but it's still okay. Like how I was doing that Kindle Scribe stream. It's not enough just to do a writing stream anymore. I at least have to do some gimmick to get myself invested. So like even Ace Attorney Online would be a situation where you're able to basically... forget it, there's way too many. Ace Attorney Online would be a situation where you're able to talk in like a chat room to people and stuff like that. So you have this, you have that. So what do we have? We have a victim and a detective type character. Right, so let's make them a strong female character here. So it'll be... Ooh, I have the perfect one for it. Lana Skye, because we never get to see her actually do anything, and she's such a badass looking, you know, whatever character. So you got to give them some special status where they're not just an ordinary person, right? So they're going to be like some sort of James Bond super spy or just very, very smart detective. And so in the process of doing that, you know, you'll work sort of outside of the conventions. They're not like, oh, we're just like a random... What happened to my headphone? Oh, so how do we explain this? Like basically retired, what would I say? Somebody retired who decided to go outside the law and do something. Let's see, I guess in reality Lana Skye would be like that too, where she's basically, or here you can just do Lynn, I guess would be the point. Like that's her nickname, even though whatever. voicemail typewriter. Hey, I forgot that was even a dynamic that they would do, sort of, that the typewriter has a sort of certain gender identity. Retired something, more than just a police officer, something of high stature. Like, yeah, retired diplomat. And so there's some sort of indication of being like a super spy who has stayed out of the public eye since her famous career brokering peace all around the world. And so the whole point is that there'll be more that you learn about her, that, oh, she wasn't just simply brokering peace, she was doing stuff behind the scenes and sort of is duplicitous, and so she was very smart in that way. And so you don't even know really that she's looking for you or something like that. Or she could always just help some other character who is looking for you. Oh yeah, let's get a victim in here. And so you're going to, let's try to find a dead body. It doesn't have to be somebody who's actually dead. Or you could start off and it's like a missing person, so you don't even know that they're dead yet. So, you know, we just are eager to use the Joe Dark any chance that I can get. But it's going to be, you don't even know who, well, but you would have to know who it is because it's somebody major who's gone missing. So how can we say that's like somebody who could have been killed over like a petty reason? It'll be somebody that he killed at a chess tournament because he, like that one girl, what was it, like attempts to poison like a chess player, least toxic chess player ever. Amina Abrakov, chess player from Russia, has been arrested and accused of poisoning a victory opponent, an opponent with mercury, according to Russian state media. Okay. We could recreate that case or sort of extrapolate on it. So who would they have potentially tried to kill and why? Or again, who is just simply missing and he's like the last person who saw them or something like that, so you'll suspect they were at some high-end gathering. So it could be somebody very big, like a president almost. So it wouldn't matter really who they are. But yeah, let's use Gant, ironically, or let's not. We could do like Alba, but I mean, he is a politician, like. Wait, but you don't have like, where were the ones that I was just using, like Ace Attorney Investigations and stuff? Didn't I just have like, oh, that's only for the environments. Maybe you can't use it here. That doesn't really work too well. You'd have to be like a president or something like very big here. But yeah, that was one alternate ending for Ace Attorney Investigations too, where I was like, the president's body double who was found wasn't actually the president's body. It was actually it wasn't actually the body double's body that you found. It was the president's body that you found from years ago, thereby revealing that the body double is the criminal and sort of you go after him at the end. It's sort of hard to explain, but you find the president's body, but then you find out it's the body double. But then I thought you would find out it's not actually the body double. So in other words, it was all part of his plan to kill the president and take his place, and which is kind of what happens anyway. But then he would still be out there, and you would finish him off and do that. Let's see. Let's make him an ambassador, like Ambassador Alba. Let's see. So he's basically just gone missing. Has been missing since a high profile gathering, of course implying that that would have been with business and political leaders from around the world. Right, so somehow you could explain that. So you don't even know that he's dead yet, but so now we can there won't even be a display name unless you have like a flashback. So what else do we have here? We could have one person. See, we're sort of doing it formula. Like we have a Rawl and his guy, you know, one character associated with him. Then we have the victim. So we need one character to do with Lynette, who's going to be like either a love interest or a assistant or something, right? So somebody that she knows who's still in government. So it could be a guy, I guess. Let's see. Or somebody she has dirt on, like the Cadaverini family. We could make a Godfather type character. That would be Trials and Tribulations, Bruno Cadaverini, right? And you never take them down or do anything with that. You could just use that, I guess, generically as Godfather. Also, Godfather. No, but we have to come up with maybe something a little better here. Let's see. That'll be like his nickname, the Godfather. So Lynette would have some dirt on him. So we can do one like that and then one contact like within the police themselves. And so this guy would be what would be a good name for him? Thinking something with a C. I'm not as good at coming up with names than I typically have it in the past. Something with a C, like Carlton. And then we'll do you know, one other contact that she has inside the police. So it's going to be and then I can always introduce characters later that could be, and these don't all have to be in the log from the beginning, but I don't know how that would work. Like we'll see. Like you'll reveal certain things at certain times to the player, basically. So this is going to be so she'll ask certain favors of him, right? And she'll ask or like blackmail him almost to do them, and that shows you sort of her power and resourcefulness. That even though he's a fucking mafia boss, let's see, one other person. It has to be police captain, kind of like Damon Gant, except that tables are turned. Let's see. Let's try to come up with a unique kind of name. So it's gonna be male, and it doesn't have to be Damon Gandel. Let's see if there's somebody else who fits with this. Yeah, she kind of looks cool, but you won't be able to. He's the victim, so like with the little earpiece thing makes him seem kind of official. Or yeah, that could be like your spirit medium type contact or something like a mystic who has advice for you. But yeah, that kind of fits well. But see, this guy has a skull over his head, man. Death is over his head because he's trying to. Everybody I'm choosing for him ends up fucking being a victim without me really thinking about it. Desiree Delight. They got to be at least like middle age. Well, the only thing I don't like about this is you can choose the environments from Ace Attorney Investigations, but not the characters for whatever reason. Russell Berry looks like a bit of too much of a clown, and once again, a victim. So they don't have proper animations and sprites. Damon, yeah, might be the only one that you can actually do. But you know, Grossberg could work too. I'm actually fine with that. Yeah, Grossberg is fine. Very experienced. member of law enforcement. I forget how like the the Phoenix Wright descriptions are written. They're sometimes written in very nondescript way. They'll just say like random stuff or very direct and to the point because they only have a text character limit of like the box. Like what if I go beyond that? What will it do? It'll let you scroll basically. Experienced member of law enforcement working well beyond his term. In other words, you know, retirement limit, if you will. So he could have retired. So not in a bad way, like, oh, he's, you know, doing it for power. He's just sort of doing it because he's bored or whatever, right? So he has a strong sense of duty there. So that's good. And then you have, where am I getting these names? Like, who is that? Where did I come up with that? I don't know. I'm always just so, that's not even really one that I remember from the past, but this is all good. I'm not really worrying about last names too much, which, to be fair, I don't think the Phoenix Wright games worry about that too much, right? Like, oh no, I guess they do. Like Dick, Gumshoe, April, May, or a lot of them are pun names, basically. So now we could, now to create a storyboard, let's do some basic conversation here at the beginning. So it'll be, again, a lot of character developing with these two at the beginning. So it'll be a Rawl and this dude, his dad. You don't always have to have music either. But let me try to... That's maybe too heavy to start with just like that. Or you got to do like the crazy shit for the cutscene intro type thing. Oh yeah, I have a good idea for this. It'll be like... I forget when you would even... Yeah, let's do it like that. It'll be him talking shit and make it seem like he's the killer, but it has nothing to do with that. It'll be something more minute. You were always useless to me. An obstacle in my way, nothing more. I should have gotten rid of you. And it'll be about something minor to show you how his mind works. Like, he's so, you know, almost egotistical or something along those lines. So you have screen editor. So it's going to be him. It's going to be... It can be him like that. Talking animation, do not talk, keep talking. Synchronize with text typing. It is fine. Appearance animation, instantaneous, slide in from left to right, mirror effect. All these things don't really have to be perfect, but... Okay, so that's him doing the thing there. And then he'll be just like kind of sad about it. This will be the dad, just to show you who, give a perspective shot of who he's talking to. So it'll be him, but you still have to show him here properly. Wait. Oh no. Is that going to be a character who's not really... Ah, fuck. It's the victim again. You can't really use the victim except for the victim. This guy's gone missing. This guy... I guess you can just talk to him like over the phone. You don't really have to... Whatever. We're not going to use him for a little bit. So let me change that again. I don't know why it would make sense that he has that. It's got to be somebody who looks sort of poor and sort of modest, right? Like weird. Or yeah, that one almost. But he's too young, I think. That maybe works because it shows you like he's at his beck and call, right? Bringing him food and stuff all the time, I guess. This is an interesting characterization there. So you'll go here, you'll do the Velvoy. It'll sort of be him embarrassed, but not in the way that you want. It'll be him like very, you know, that's more like a smitten thing, but I'll use it for that purpose. And so now the next one is going to be unchanged. Does that mean it'll continue? Let me just see how this works so far. It takes a little bit of work, but it, you know, what do you expect? What was I questioning? It'll just continue the music, so that's what it means by unchanged, even though the first one says that too. So let's try to pick like what is a high-end sort of rich place that they would be at, and the answer, oh, that thing is still there. Like some sort of fancy place that he's obviously earned because he's a fucking trillionaire. Wait, how do you... It's not going to be the office, really. It's something, one of these rich places that you go to, like that headquarters of the fucking... What is it? The headquarters of that fucking place. In, there's too much stuff in the background that would make it proprietary to that, though. It's that place where you meet the girl with the visor and shit. What is that? Oh yeah, this one. Does that actually work? I can't tell. I can't see it well enough. Just to show like, oh, you're so smart and you're in the presence of a... I guess, like, what would be something that would make more sense as far as like his house? It's gotta be like a very fancy place. Studio, no. Sunshine Coliseum, 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 Coliseum. Sunshine Coliseum, Park, Family Home, Club, Clinic, Club, Clavier's Office. But no, if there's like a picture of a character or something, I guess you could explain it some other way, but... Training Hall, none of this really works. This kind of looks shitty. Kitchen, Tender Lender. I wonder what this one, Lordly Taylor. It looks too much like what it is, though, like an exhibit. I guess we could use this one. So it'll be... So it's both his residence and workplace or whatever, something of the sort. And so now you can go here and put that for both of these. User-defined places... You know, it sort of shows you that he brings his work home, or he's always working, kind of. All right, so he's talking shit, he's embarrassed, and then you get to... let's see. It'll be some sort of payoff, or... It's sort of the shit talking that is sort of hard to sometimes... Okay, we'll do him once more. Right, Oral and default sprite. I can't tell what the difference is. It wouldn't really be that animation, I don't think. We'll just do like the normal one where he's kind of serious. Automatic talking animation mode. Synchronize text with typing, which I guess it should always sort of do that. So now he'll sort of be talking and then he'll get interrupted by some sort of call, and then he'll have to meet and explain himself, or it'll be something to do with the party. Or, you know, like the party should happen and then there'll be a big thing at the party, and then later on the guy goes missing and then he's accused of it, and like it could tie into that. So now... You were always useless, an obstacle in my way, nothing more. I should have gotten rid of you. What else can we do here? I want to use all my terms too. We'll use the stimuli acme and stuff because this guy is so smart that he knows that. What would be something here? Let me think. I mean, you could make like the whole fucking game here. Like, let's remake the original Ace Attorney just to show, like, you know, how would it really be different? You could basically do all this. Right, all the sounds, all the animations, everything. Besides the animations maybe at the beginning of the... Even that they kind of had in some split screens, but it wouldn't probably flow as well. What would I have him say here? Color picker too, so you can do even more than what they have there. But no, this doesn't seem to have changed much, so as much as it was impressive for the time, maybe it's only what you would expect now. And thankfully it's still online because I know that most people probably use the other one or some other one, pyrite or something. So this is going to be... Okay, this is a tough line to come up with because... we'll have that little girl who is in the background. There actually be the assistant sort of type. And what she'll do is she'll basically allow you to fill in some exposition and stuff here. So it'll be a female character. From here, it'll be this chick, Lisa Basil. So what are we going to name her now? I want these all to be just sort of unique names. That could be, you could be named after a plant. Assistant to Aral handles technical activities that Brighton cannot. Right, to imply he does the physical, menial, mundane labor, mundane tasks, and she does stuff more technical activities that Brian cannot. So those two together make the dream team to do all this shit for him. Female, displayed name, that's fine. And so now, what do we have here? You're going to have her sort of interrupt them here at the beginning. This takes a little bit more effort than what I thought, but let me at least get maybe part of the premise done once you get the hang of it, which I won't, because again, even next week I'll do something different. I'll do like I'll do the actual, probably the online itself somehow. Let's see, we have the simple ability to have him continue on a little bit, and he'll maybe always go red when he's doing his elitist victim blamer type of thing. Oh, I'm gonna go pretty dark with this too. Like, is there a rating? Oh, I can let him get all because you got drunk one night and were... I'll let it get cut off there. Like he's saying, oh, you only had kids because of that, a kid because of that, and then he'll get interrupted. And so now you have Lisa Basil. It is pretty serious shit. That is almost beyond the... I mean, the Phoenix Wright games are about people getting murdered and stuff, so it's not like that big of a thing, but somehow people react differently to different subjects, like they're worse. Right? It's like that with censorship. If somebody gets killed, like somebody gets shot or their head gets blown off in a movie, oh, it's no big deal. But then if, oh, nudity, now that's just going too far, you know? Like, so sex is treated differently than violence. I'm not saying that there's anything... so she was always pretty cool and calm and collected. That's her, like, kind of being nervous. I'll have her be more professional at this point, though. So this will be the same thing unless there's, like, a different dynamic of that in there. Like, the, a different part of it, but I don't think there really is. It'll be, sir, there is an urgent call for you from the... Oh wow, we get another one of those fucking... We've had like 3 bots, just because I guess I'm streaming so long, we'll keep having it in there. Why would I need to buy bots or viewers like they're suggesting when I could just let those fucking bots themselves serve as the bots to give me viewership anyway, right? The fact of them coming in to tell me that message. There's an urgent call for you from the... Or no, wait, we almost want him to go to the party first though, don't we? Or we could do like a flashback. There's a... from what? Some sort of investigation bureau. We should come up with a cool name for it. From the... I don't know. What could I call it? What do they call it, like in GTA? Instead of the FBI, it's like the I can't remember. Oh, like FIB to like mean fib, and it's like supposed to be some stupid pun from the. It's got to be something very, very urgent, very significant kind of person. Oh, it looks like she's sweating, but I didn't mean to do that one. Wait, what the hell? This is Lisa 1, so why is she sweating? What? This isn't supposed to be the one that she's... Or is she like that in all of them? Why is she dripping, dude? My girl is literally dripping. What the fuck? This is harder than I thought it would be. There is an urgent call for you from the... something department. Like, come up with a name that we're going to use for Lynette's whole thing. Right, or she won't really be... let me see. What did I say for him? Law enforcement... from the police captain, I guess. It's got to be somebody even higher status than that. Or we'll go, okay, from the attorney general. How about that? Right, and so now you get to... And now he'll be mad, like, sort of that he was interrupted. Let me think. This is a little bit too much. I should have had more of a ready... More of something ready here. I'm just sort of winging it, but these are a lot of things I've... Whatever, at least the names and stuff. But yeah, we're using the music, so the music is stopped right when she comes in. So it'll sort of interrupt everything. So we'll go... stop current music. Let me watch how that plays out. So again, it makes it almost seem like... Whatever, a very high octane moment, and also... You're already doing, you know, pretty borderline adult jokes there. There is an urgent call for you from the Attorney General. Or yeah, he can be a dick about it. We're gonna go full elitist victim blamer dick mode here. So we go, if it's so urgent, why haven't you put it on already? Or like if it's urgent enough to interrupt me when I'm talking, kind of like that. If it's urgent enough to... I don't know how to really say that exactly right, though. Screen editor is going to be the same thing. I can't tell what the difference in actually these two is. So that one will be fine. Talking transition mode. Keep talking, synchronize with text. And so here we get to do the background. Stop current music. Let's see. What is the background? It's going to be the same thing for a while. I guess the Phoenix Wright series does that too. It reuses the same environments apparently over and over because you could use the same one. And it actually, there's only like 30 of them in the whole game, which I was surprised by, like Trials and Tribulations. If it's so urgent, why haven't you put them on already? Would probably make... Well, you could do either one, but... Okay, so let's try it here and just every single line we'll just test it. Alright, that's fine. Oh, easy, got drunk one night. And then, sir, there's urgent call. I can't tell what the difference is in these two Machi animations, actually. But no, the implication is not that he's blind. He just wears that because he's fucking a dick. Right, to hide his whatever. Or he doesn't like making eye contact is one. I should almost do it like that. Like, how long can this go? Wears glasses, sort of dark glasses, because he hates making eye contact. So that could be, you know, a characterizing line. Why do I need to look at people when I can already see through them? Right, something like that would be his line to characterize that, which is one of my, you know, RP quotes that I've used in a couple. Like, I don't look at people, I see through them. I said that to like Kyoko in Danganronpa or something. Like whenever I'm suspicious of somebody. Did you see what they said? No, I saw through it, kind of a thing. So, why haven't you put them on already? So now she can come back and this is like kind of, I don't know. This is a lot. Okay, let's do her again. Not Lynn. So that's going to be somebody else too. And you maybe don't even need to show them, but you obviously make a profile for them. Or that could be Damon Gant, I guess now. Let me see if there's somebody who suits it better. It could be, we could make it a female. Custom picture, no. How do we, wait. Okay, character base. It could be somebody a little bit old, a little bit fancy looking. So who's another like badass female character? Oh yeah, Adrian Andrews would be pretty good for this, but she's a little bit young, right, with how she looks. She's actually one of the best developed characters, hot take, in the Phoenix Wright series, because she always goes through some amount of development, which most of the minor supporting characters don't do, where she goes from like very, you know, whatever, caught up in her tragedy to being happier later and stuff like that, and just everything she goes through, attempting suicide and stuff. Like who's that character from Code Geass? Nina. What if I said Nina is the best written character from Code Geass? And you might be surprised to, I don't even have to give her a name. Attorney General. That might be too long to even fit though. We can just do like AG, and then from there we can do that's fine, I guess. You know, even judging her by age, like, oh, she's too young, because not everybody is in a role over here where you can actually do it at a young age. And look at all the shit he's done. You're trying to tell me you couldn't even make Attorney General by that age? So he'll have some shit to say to them too, sort of insulting them and showing them their weakness in a way. Right, like always getting the upper hand and doing things like that. So now it'll be her doing this. And the reason why is because see, that one she's sweating, but I don't get the other ones because so now she like won't say anything, or she'll just now you'll sort of be on the phone, so you can make like a black screen, I guess, or you could show them sort of in their office and us here if you wanted to do that too. Right, so like he shuts everybody up basically is the point. We could do the sound of like Cyclock sound effects. How about like something to do with a phone? Maybe that would sort of pass off as it, so let's try it. We're gonna end up seeing the same thing like a million times. Let's see, it's actually bugging out. Or it's getting to be too big to handle. Urgent call from you. If it's so urgent, why haven't you put them on? Or it should almost be I don't know, is there not a better sound than the camera click thing we could do? That's music. I want the sound effect. Speaking expressions. It's like somebody picking up or putting down a phone or something. Camera click, character sounds, court, gavel pounding, psych locks. Okay, gallery speaking, guilty, like even a phone ringing, camera click, desk slam, door opening, flashback, gunshot, new evidence, quiet gunshot, speaking expressions, vocals. I guess we can leave it at that for now. So that's to imply that you know, she's nervous and not saying anything, but she is obviously letting the thing. Let me try. Let me look at it again. Too large. The fuck are you talking about? Too large. Okay, so save it, and then we get to play test it again. that could kind of pass off as just her being so shocked. But no, it's meant just to show. It doesn't seem right, like the pacing of it. Maybe it should be at the end here. It seems maybe a little out of place. Whatever, we'll leave it. And then so the next one is going to be them on the phone with the actual guy. So with the girl, I mean. So what this is going to be is the Attorney General, Adrian Andrews. But yeah, why don't we show it like that? It's going to be in some sort of office. Maybe Damon Gant's office could almost work. So it's weird. Yeah, you get the places from the whole series, but you don't get the characters from the whole series. So what could pass off as a regal sort of high-end office aside from maybe that one? See if there's anything better than Gant's office, basically. Police headquarters, evidence room. Acro's room doesn't really make sense. Yeah, why would you put a handicapped person on the second floor, too? That's one of the biggest weird things in the series. Like, oh, he's somebody in a wheelchair. You have one person in a wheelchair in a building, and he's on the second floor. Like, what the fuck? He has to go up the stairs every time or something. Elevator. Atmi's office is fine. And none of these really seem suited for it. Got to be like a really high-end office. That's going to be Damon Gant's office to the right, and he'll be on the phone. Or maybe we should use the left side. Let's see. Or it'll be sort of good foreshadowing to show that, like, Lana's picture will be on there because that shows you that they work together at some point or they have some close relationship. So that could come into play later. This could be AG's office. Yeah, let's do a Donald Trump trial. So let's try to get, like you can do real world events in here. Let's try to catch the unconvicted war criminal George Bush over here for the Iraq war. Like they turned it into a real life fucking thing. It's just RP. So we'll show that she's on the phone. Okay, she's on the phone with the guy. This will be Adrian Andrews. So this is a good way to show it, like over the phone, that you have why is it doing it like this though now? She's there, so why are her status, like why is her thing not showing up? What the hell is going on? Why wouldn't it show like her sprites or something? I don't get it. Did they just not have Adrian Andrews type of shit? Let me see. That's so weird. I wonder why you can't see her. Is it because it's suddenly a different environment? But I wonder why that would matter. You have the office, you have this. So something's not right. What is different with these ones? How you can... Characters present on the scene. Huh. It must just be where she's not... Like, what if I change this one? So I'll change... Oh, it's because she has to be the one saying it, I guess. So now it should show it? The fuck is going on? If she's saying something, she's got to be there. What the fuck? Hide previously shown characters. Okay, this one's just not working at all, which makes no sense. Does that mean Adrian Andrews just isn't allowed to be a character in the game? Color, I don't know why it makes it have to say it like that. Custom name. Like, okay, just hello. Screen editor. Let's see what else we got here. Let me just change it and see what happens. Like let's say we do Lynette as this. Is that going to make it work? Kind of weird. The fuck? Why does this one not work? Add a character. Characters present on scene. This doesn't work. I don't get it. What is different with these? Okay, let me try it again. We'll make it Damon Gant's office, user defined places, office, and then you go to here, or like even that, like maybe this one just doesn't let you have characters on it, but that doesn't even make sense either. For fuck's sake, I think we already broke it. Nobody is showing up on that. Let me do AG here. Let's see what'll actually happen. Okay, playtest, so it'll just be a blank screen with that text on there. That's so fucking weird. There's either something to do with the environment or the character itself. Let me try to change it then to somewhere else. It's weird that it makes you add the places specifically. Why not just have well, I kind of get it, but sort of bugged out sometimes. Like let's try this then. I don't know why that would really matter. That is so fucking weird. Like you just can't use some of these characters, I guess. I don't know what's happening. Like let's say you wanted somebody else there. Fuck it. What is this, man? It won't let you fucking use that. Huh. I don't know how you like really transition from one scene to the next. Maybe you have to insert a frame here. I forget how exactly this works because it's not showing any other characters anywhere here. So it seemed to be doing fine. Like maybe you got to do a black screen to show, or maybe some of the, no, I'm trying to think, like some of the environments aren't meant to show something. Like there were no people on that, so it won't show it. But that's not even true because you got to do like maybe a transition black screen, I guess. So if we, I'm so confused. We don't even need it to be that environment though. Like the environment itself can just be a black screen then if it wants. Yeah, black background. So we can just we could just use it like this as a placeholder, but if we do that and then we do another one, then will it finally let me change the environment? I don't get why it would be such an issue. User defined places like that. Then we'll put a character there and it just doesn't work. It just doesn't appear. Like what the fuck? Damn it. Screen editor, because it would show it in a different way. It must just be something with these environments. Like let me, no, but it wasn't doing it there either. Like, okay, let me try it here then. Now it's no longer working. Okay, let me try it again. Fuck, man, we get to like 7 frames and then it already breaks. So stupid. Let me see. We could try Lynette or somebody. Maybe you're meant to do it in like different scenes, but I don't know how to even do that. Sounds, music, pops, places, characters. This would be... I'm so confused. It would be the ability to... I guess you could just do it in one environment the whole fucking time, but... Let's see if there's some guide on this or something. Attorney, online... This isn't even the same one, is it? Yeah, this is something else. Fuck, how would you figure this out now in 2024 when people are already... Like from here. They might have some basic instructions or something here, let me see. Or I'm sure there's videos of people making this. This is all in different language too. Things right forum, comment suggestion, bug reports, comments and ideas, general discussions, help and support, tutorial, questions already asked and answered. How do I add a new statement? It could just be a bug. Backgrounds, dimension, crime scenes, reveal evidence profiles later. How do I make it so you can get to every location? Life bar, game over, creating, publishing, playtesting trials. Custom characters don't appear. I'm not able to put places to move in my trial. Trial disappeared. Secret turnabout. That's a nice little piece of art. Okay, so the one thing we can't seem to figure out is the environment. So we sort of broke it in some way with respect to anything more that we're doing is just not working. Right, so you add a new thing, then you first put in the... Maybe you put in the character first. Yeah, I guess she's just not... Or, okay, maybe you do it before you put in the environment. Okay, that maybe fixed it. Okay, so I guess that's what sort of fixed it. You put the character first, then you put the background afterwards. We just sort of discovered that incidentally too. Now we'll put in Damon Gant's office, like the right side that I was trying to do. Good. And then... Let's see, I couldn't decide what was wrong. Adrian Andrews herself or the office, but it seems like they're fine. But this is just showing them on the phone, but... Let's see. I almost don't feel like music is too appropriate here, but we would start it in a conversation, and then look how long this takes, dude. It'll take like 10 minutes per fucking slide. Now we'll have her talk. So he shut up the two characters so far, right, who are closest to him, but now he will. And you could say Fern is like a surrogate mom figure for him too, but we'll see if that comes into play later. All this I'm just doing off the top of my head. It's not like I have a plan, but let's see. So now she will show that she won't take any shit from him, but still that he has some dirt on her or something that he knows. It's almost like the conversation with Red White and the attorney, chief prosecutor, even though it was Lana, he says Mr. Chief Prosecutor, so who the fuck knows? They didn't know that Lana was going to be a thing yet because that was written before that came out or something. I don't know. But then again, if it's Mr. Chief Prosecutor in the English, they should have changed it because in the English it was released also with Rise from the Ashes already there. And she had been Chief Prosecutor for 2 years, and it hadn't been 2 years since Case 2 and Case 5. But that is just an error that they made. Or you could say Red White's just weird like that he calls everybody Mr. and he has all these weird little catchphrases, but... So she's just going to be saying hello. Hello, Mr. You gotta have a last name. For this, I guess. Uh, damn, I never really worry about last names too much. Let's see, let's see. I don't like pun names. It should just be a name that sounds like a real name, actually. Uh, Let me see. I'll spend all the time just thinking about the names themselves. Right, and just basic. This is just a basic intro scene where you'll have the conversation, or this could be like a positive, you know, positive interaction where they're gonna go meet at the party, or they could already be looking into what happened at the party. Yeah, like it almost feels like it should start with that as the event, but we could always do like a flashback and sort of show what happened there. Um, let's see. My biggest question here is just coming up with the actual fucking last name. Let's see, let's see. Uh, sure, whatever. I don't really know. Um, Now he'll be sort of a dick again, right? Non-stop dickery. This is a good way to at least show a certain character portrait that I've done. So, you do him, and you can show him here with the sprite. See, it doesn't give you this menu if you do it the other way. Now he's the one who won't say anything. Right, you got to be careful with the dots because they don't really mean that the character's actually talking. So if you match their mouth movement to the dot, then they're mouthing like a mime, right? But they're not actually saying anything. So this is the running joke already. He's talk shit dot. He talks shit again dot. And then now she's being kind of cordial, and then he says dot. So now he'll be more direct, like, you know, get to the point. If you have something to say, say it, sort of. Uh, so something like that, and so you would do it in such a way that you get to, wait, I didn't put the name properly, so we got to do it here. So she's being like generally nice, or she's maybe even a little afraid of him, but maybe she's really not either. Uh, she's gonna be like very serious. And she's holding a law book, of course, the evidence law that Lana Sky gave to fucking Phoenix. It's got to segue into saying, like, got to segue into basically saying that you would have, if you have something to say it, basically, but that doesn't really work as well. Hello, are you there? There should be something else she says that gives that as an opening. Like, can you hear me, or something like that, where I don't hear anything important or as urgent. I don't know, that doesn't really work. It should be something that gives him the openings for a dickish line, such that you would say, you know, if you have something to say, get to the point. If you have something to say, say it. So we'll go once again. We're overusing some of the same environments. So if you do it now, you won't be able to change the character, will you? Fuck off. Do you have to, what do you do? Just go to none, then do it. We're all here, and then he'll go there. And he's even giving the body language, even though she can't see it. It could be a Skype call, video call, that he's looking away just to show whatever. his dismissive nature for her. Or he should almost have his own little motif theme where, you know, I can pick a character theme to show this would be a good time to use it. Hello, Mr. Vey, ... So he says nothing. I didn't mean to even... Oh, shit. I didn't mean to do that. Fuck. If you have something to say, say it. Right? Being very blunt, and then we get to do I like to synchronize with text. Now she'll be all surprised, and she'll basically get to... I don't know why you keep doing this every single time. So urgent, why haven't you put them on? Oh, this one like sort of fades to black, but why? That one shouldn't really fade to black. Right, I assume that's what that effect is. So now we get to... You have something to say, say it. And then when you do that, you're able to... Okay, so she'll be a little surprised and maybe taken aback. And so you'd be able to... Let's see... She's maybe a little bit surprised, I guess. But she holds up to it better than most. So there should be like that little sound where she's like shocked or something. Camera click, default sounds. I don't know what some of these are. Character sounds, Eldoon. It is like just an exclamation sound that sometimes happens. Camera click, death slam, flashback, gunshot, new evidence. Speaking expression, anger, sort of gulp, I guess. Would be more what it is. So gulp, and then you get to... You could have like the suspense music, but it almost doesn't feel right yet. So she doesn't really apologize. She just sort of gets to the point, which is going to be... Either we want to address that the party hasn't happened yet, and she's asking, like, are you going to come to the party? Or... maybe we should set that up, like... I was calling to ask if you were coming to the party. Okay, let's just leave it like that. And then go ahead, we'll do the background itself. And then we'll do him again here. Right, so obviously they're just talking on the phone, but you're just trying to display the fact that... So now it'll be like, obviously I'm coming, why wouldn't I? Everybody of status is going to be there, that kind of thing. Everyone with any worth will be there. So like no, I don't know. He got to say things a little more briefly though. So it's not even like he's offended by the notion. It's more like it's so obvious, it's redundant. Why would you even ask something, right, that you already know the answer to, basically? So it would be, wait, why is this 11? What the fuck is going on? What? 9, 10, 11, 12. We sort of fucked up the order, I guess. It's very hard to use this thing when it comes to the mouse cursor itself. Oh, fuck off, dude. Are you serious? Okay, that's fine. I don't know why they're numbered like that, but yeah, think of this if the good son was actually a very capable, smart person outside of just doing mischief, sort of. But again, it's the age that's sort of deceiving a little bit. I'm going to ask you if you were coming to the party. So how could you say it in sort of a blunt, direct way that's not laying it on too thick? That you'd basically say, well, see, I'm trying all these things. You think, oh, it doesn't matter, just get to the case solving, get to the murder. But that's not really how I want to do this one. This is meant to be like super, super in detail with respect to, those other basic interactions and storyboard outside of just the case solving. Right, and I almost don't even care about that as much. So it's just an excuse to almost do like a writing stream, short story-esque thing. So you would say it in a blunt way. Yes, just like very blunt. Yes, why wouldn't I? See, like everyone of status is going, but that's the sort of thing that would be implied. So how do you say that without actually directly saying it? We don't want to be a master of the storyboard like George Lucas. We also want to have some nuance to our dialogue, which he really struggled to do, at least in the prequels. Yes, why wouldn't I? Every one worth anything will be there. Not that he really cares. Yes, why wouldn't I? Everyone worth anything will be there. That doesn't really work exactly the way I want it to, but it's okay because I get to whatever, we can maybe change it later. So now she's gonna try to talk him off of going a little bit or question it, or like, but that guy's gonna be there. You two don't really get along, something like that, to show a motive. Right, but then he doesn't get along with anybody. We'll put this to none. I don't know exactly why it works like this, but that's fine. So we'll put in this chick. You can just use the base one, I guess, for most of these. Synchronize with typing. I'm probably going to forget to do that for a couple of these. And use the office again. Whoops, that's the wrong one. I like the alliteration in her name, Adrian Andrews. But and it was meant to be like a androgynous name too. Right, like Adrian can be a man or a woman, so that confuses Shelley to kill her. Although as smart as he is, it's shocking that he wouldn't know that. But he doesn't pay attention to idle gossip, I guess. The tabloids and shit. Yes, why wouldn't I? Well, the ambassador is going to be there. You two don't really see eye to eye. And that could be like a height joke too. So you can just leave it at that. And then he'll be like, so tell him not to come then. I maybe shouldn't worry about all the animations and stuff. I should just write it out and then I can always do it later. As long as we get the base essence. So did you tell him not to come? Master's going to be there. You two don't really see eye to eye. Did you tell him not to come? No, I was just... I don't care for most people there, but someone of my stature must show their face. Is that all? And then, so obviously we implied that we know who is saying what. We'll worry about that later because that's taking too long. Did you tell him not to come? Like, as if this would be in italics or something bold, emphasized. because I don't know how exactly you do that. Or you could just change the color of it as like a keyword. Well, the ambassador is going to be there. You two don't really see eye to eye, with a little subliminal short joke, because obviously he's just young and whatever. Did you tell him not to come? No, I don't care for most people there, but someone of my stature must show their face. Is that all? So, like, throwing it right back at her. Why would you tell me not to come? Yes, of course. So she's, like, a little bothered, but not as thrown off as everybody else is, right? She's a little stronger or whatever, more resilient. Yes, of course. I will see you there. And then we have maybe, and then hangs up. Like, should I, do that like in green? The problem is you can't do only part of it, can you? Like, if you highlight that. Oh, I guess you can. Let me see how that would show up. Even if it's not, request too large. Even if it's not, what the fuck do you mean? You would have to put in this shit here. It'll be a raw. This part can be a little bit much. Okay, AG. Okay, imagine this is actually the exact way that they designed the game. They just leaked it. Effectively, this is what they'd be doing. A raw. The chick again. But that's what I keep fucking up and adding a frame where I don't mean to have one. Delete this, and then you get to do her again, AG. And then you get to do this one. Okay, so let me try it like that, even if you don't have... fuck. Maybe because you're not putting the characters in there, but you could still just show me the text box. That's all I want to fucking see. Default sprite. Do that. Fucking goddamn it. Again, this is good, but it just has some limitations, I guess. Automatic, synchronize with typing. Or some of these you should be able to save just for all of them, so you don't have to do it every single time, because some of the options you're just doing like that, right, that they're always going to be the same. Synchronize. This is going to be Adrian Andrews again. Yeah, one of the best characters in the whole series, because actually goes through some amount of development that even the main characters don't really do. Phoenix is like too much of a goody two-shoes kind of clown. Okay, I don't know what this means, dude. Request too large. Just that the story is getting too big, but I almost felt like there was some way to do scene by scene transitions. Now it's just like, oh yeah, frame presets. You could probably do that to make this easier. User defined. Okay, it's gonna be the same thing. Do the office, do the thing. Some of these would be pretty predictable. Like, anybody of high authority is gonna be Gant's office or blah blah blah. Like, some of these characters too, it's too tempting to use them. Although I somehow managed to not use Gant. I wish you could use some of the characters from the other games though. Like, what if I want to use Alba or something? In the other online thing, you can download them and whatever. Maybe there's some way to do it here too. Like, you can download packs of characters and something like that. Let's go ahead. We'll save it. It is maybe getting too elaborate here, where it can't handle 14 fucking slides. I don't know what to do with that if it keeps fucking up. There's nothing I can do then. I just can't ever watch it. Like, what the fuck? Debug. Come on, man. It was doing it for a second there where it was loading. Or what if I just keep reloading this? Would it be the same one then? You're always useless to me. He's talking shit to them. Then he's talking shit to that. Hello? He says nothing. If you have something to say, say it. Or you could just say it already, but he tends to keep it to a minimum. Like, it's not even worth his time to have to waste his breath, sort of. I was calling to ask if you were coming to the party. Yes, why wouldn't I? Everyone worth anything will be there. Well, the ambassador is going to be there. You two don't really see eye to eye. Did you tell him not to come? No, I don't care for most people there. But someone of my stature must show their face. Is that all? Yes, of course, I will see you there. Maybe. Like, he's being, totally dickish all the way, and you can add, like, the sound effect. So that's pretty good. I'm a little bothered by how he keeps saying that it's too big already. Like, we've barely even done anything. So maybe that's the whole session. Like, we get to fucking see. It is a little bit exhausting to do this, but I should have come in with a bit more of an idea. So you at least see the characterization of him as this dick, victim blamer type. So now you would show it at the party, right? We would move on to another environment. So what's a good party place? None of those really work. Yeah, there must be like, what's a party that happens in the actual games? Gourd Lake Studio doesn't really work. It's got to be like a bit. Oh yeah, like the big feast at the Gatewater Hotel or whatever, right? Yeah. This is perfect for it. We'll all be chilling like in a fucking hotel. So that's fine. Now we'll go from here and we get to do this. So it's going to be, we could either introduce the ambassador or we could wait. So we could just have, it'll be the fucking waiter, but we're not the waiter of the thing. We could play into that a little bit as a joke. We have short joke count number 1. But see how he's like so cold that he doesn't even react. Like, he doesn't give a shit. There's like a cynicality that this character would have. Like, he already knows what everybody's going to say or think or do, so it doesn't matter. It's all just superficial. It's all just performative. And then on the other side, he doesn't want to waste his breath on other people too. You were always useless to me, and I'll go away with nothing more. I should have gotten rid of you. He's embarrassed. All because you got drunk one night and were a whore. And then, sir, there's an urgent call from you from the Attorney General. If it's so urgent, why haven't you put them on already? And then she's all embarrassed. That's just to signify the phone sound, but I can't seem to find it. There are phone sounds like a beep or a ringtone, but for some reason I can't find them. And so, hello. Obviously a high status call. If you have something to say, say it. I was calling to ask you if you were coming to the party. Yes, why wouldn't I? Everyone worth anything will be there. Ambassador is going to be there. You two don't really see eye to eye. Did you tell him not to come? No, I was just, she was basically trying to dissuade him from coming. Right, because he rubs a lot of people the wrong way, not the least of which is the ambassador. I don't care for most people, but someone of my stature must show their face. Is that all? I will see you there. Maybe. Okay, so dick count 1 million. And then, what else do we have here? It is sort of like a condescending treatment, too. It's like, because, he's a kid, we're going to treat him differently, even though he's so successful. If he was an adult and he was even half as successful, right, you might not even say that. So there is a certain claim to be said there. So who do we want to start with in the little ballroom party scene would be the question. And the answer is it takes like an hour to do 20 slides of it. But we're setting up a lot, and I might use this not as public, this is for my own use, right? I'm not even going to release it publicly, or it won't be done for a fucking century. But I'm doing this more for myself. Like, I'm just taking notes and just to show you what I'm talking about. So I'm using it more as just a short story, as a short story way to express that, rather than anything actually that the player would actually see, right? You wouldn't just have that much shit in there. Although theoretically, this can go on seemingly as long as you want too. So it'd be the ballroom sort of setting. So who would we? I'm not really doing those scene transitions either, but like you do a black screen with a little slow text, and it comes in like, yeah. How do you even do that? Like where it appears slowly. Oh, here we go. Typing speed. Like where it does it. It'll be a black screen with the text. Or it won't always be a black screen, actually. It'll just be the, this is the first time you've been to this place. So it'll show it in green text, what the location is, what the time is, and everything. And so in what is a very linear game, so the time's always going to be, predetermined like that. So maybe that's good enough. I'm already kind of overwhelmed by this. But yeah, you're setting up the dickish nature of this guy. And let me try to do a little more, but so you want to start this scene off on sort of a lighthearted note. Let me do Brighton as the clown that he is, and we're going to do it in such a way that we get to, have him just sort of be talking normally. He's going to be all trying to be nice, and he's going to be nice, and he's going to basically... Okay, let's come up with a name for that place too. So it's going to be... It's a party, but what party actually is it? Just, or where exactly is it? We could use real world places, or I could just make them up. Like, just put in a famous hotel, but I'll sort of imply, like, it's some fictional hotel, but it could be still in a real world place. So we'll give it, Renette Hotel. Or it doesn't even really have to be a hotel. Just, what is another name for you? Instead of a hotel, it could be... Yeah, let's do like a gala. So now we can do, what does that even mean exactly? I always see like the Met Gala where AOC has special occasion. Okay, so we'll use that, and then we'll do, he's like asking him if he wants any food or something. Are you sure you don't want me to get you anything? And then he'll show sort of a suck-up nature, like, oh no, I hate the food, and... I hate this kind of food. You know that. You could say it more eloquently than that, though. Like, this is what George Lucas needed to do on the prequels. Don't just do base exposition. You gotta kind of obsess and mull over it and edit it and have Dave Filoni or some shit, whoever the fuck, right, actually do it. Where you sort of go over it with a fine-tooth comb. So now he's already going to be looking off to the side, synchronized with typing. So these will be the main two expressions that we're really using here. You have those three locations so far. Are you sure you don't want me to get you anything? And again, looking like a butler, but he's always like that, right? He's either a butler at home or he's a butler out, but not for other people. I hate this kind of food. You know that. There's got to be a better way of saying that, though. Like, now you see why I never would write anything long form too much, because it's got to be too perfect, right? Kind of overdo it. I hate this kind of food, you know that. Or you could say it in such a way that, like, it's not refined enough, it's not good enough in certain... I don't know. Whatever, as long as we get the essence out, we can go over it, like, later, which I never will do. So that woman could be here too, or maybe she's not. Or like they're sort of the caretakers. It is kind of like Nier in that characterization, just like how we were using Nier as him as the Nier avatar earlier. It's the case of you're basically able to show that, oh, they're carrying his bags, they're carrying his toys for him, and he's kind of like childish, even though he's so smart, right? It's the same thing here, that, he's never booked a flight or done travel arrangements before, the guy. So he has that sort of mentality, but I guess in this case, he actually is just a kid, whereas Nier is sort of, I don't know, Nier is pretty young too, but... I hate this kind of food, that there's got to be a better way to say that, right? But it's a good writing sort of technique, right? Whenever a line feels like, oh, that's just a generic line that anybody could say in any situation, like, you have become the very thing you swore to destroy. Like, that's just you stating from Revenge of the Sith. That's just you stating what happened or what's going on. It's not really you adding any nuance or weight or depth to it, right? It's just very direct, on the nose, very, you're saying what's happening, but you're not really, you could say that in any story where a character changes or whatever becomes bad, right? So it's too on the nose. You have to add a little element that adds something in universe where, oh, you know, that's from Star Wars because it says something, you know, it's just unique to that material instead of just a generic canned line that anybody could say anywhere. I hate this kind of food, you know that. And maybe he'll be like me. He likes fast food despite being so wealthy. He hates the kind of food. And then what else do we have? So now we could show the ambassador or something. Where he's going to be kind of bugging him a little bit. Right? He's trying to be nice or trying to do something. That could be him being all nervous again. Why is it saying groom, though? It's a fucking bellboy, not a groom at a wedding. Okay, we do it again. And so now, are you going to sort of talk to anyone or meet anyone? Talk to anyone? Like, only if I have to. Let's see. Let's add the thing again. This can be a little bit annoying. Okay, you gotta add the character in first. Put this here. Put this here. I don't think I synchronized there. You gotta say it in a better way. Like, he's being all nice and encouraging. Are you going to, you know... You don't want to say it exactly like that because that's sort of like to imply that you should. It would be more guarded or something. Are you going to talk to anyone? I don't know. We'll leave it for now. I'm sure they will talk to me, right? Because I'm so important. So you go here. Yeah, that is like a character type just by itself. The elitist victim blamer namesake that I sometimes was associated with, even if it was jokingly, right? It would still be effective to say there is a certain special meaning behind it because it's like believing in potential and ability. So like he's at least validated from that perspective. He can talk as much shit as he wants because he's accomplished so much, but also he sees that in other people. Like, you know, he doesn't take excuses like, oh, if I can do all this, how come you can't do something? How come you're complaining about your minimum wage job or something? I'm sure they will talk to me. So he's being all nice. Are you sure you don't want me to get you anything? I hate this kind of food. Are you going to talk to anyone? I'm sure they will talk to me. So the characterization is at least pretty consistent so far. So now somebody could come up, and who are some of the characters here? You could meet somebody like there should be another character added for this scene though that has nothing to do with any of this. Right? The captain and the Godfather meant more to just associate with Lynette. Lynette could be here and meet, but it's maybe too early for that. The assistant doesn't even have to be here. The AG could be here. But let me add one more character to try to add one more character who's like a little friendly, outgoing socialite, which I would say Cindy Stone, but then I forget that she's dead. So let's do some. Yeah, April May could be the type here. Like the wife of a successful, powerful person. We'll go here, and then you basically get to socialite, also known as wife of a successful you'll think that Oral wrote them himself, successful man, right? You can't, sometimes the flavor text will take a side almost like that though, where it'll have opinions and shit. Like it won't just simply be, but I guess it's maybe Phoenix who's meant to be saying it. So she's gonna be all busty and stuff like April actually is. A kid's game, by the way. Screen editor, let's see what we have. One of my favorite playthroughs that not that I watch a ton of playthroughs a lot, but one of my favorite ones of the Phoenix Wright series was Far From Subtle, where they do like all the weird voices and stuff, but the way that I don't know, their style was just very suited for it. It's hard to explain. Where they'll shit all over it and make fun of the logic and stuff. So now she'll be saying hello. So this is, again, just a little fodder filler sort of character that might not have that much significance, but she'll be all nice. Like, you have, another short joke, you have grown since the last time I saw you, mister. But she's saying it in like a playful way. Right, like talking to him like he's a kid, even though he kind of is. So you should have some music playing, I guess, for this one. Music editor, let me see what you got. One of those kind of fun party type things. Defense investigation doesn't end here. Search opening. Congratulations, everybody. Let's see if that'll work. I won't even know what it is until you play it. Maybe that's just like a fanfare at the end of beating a trial. We'll have to go through the whole fucking thing every time, too. You should be able to split it up in terms of scenes, which maybe you can do, but I don't know how. Whatever, it's fine. It's not like I'm going to do that much of it here. Tell him not to come. So let's look at the most recent thing that we have here. I should just leave this open. Yeah, that kind of fits, though, with the whole party scene, I guess. This is like when someone like April May is actually talking. This seems almost way too fucking loud. Are you sure you don't want me to get you anything? I hate this kind of food, you know that. It just adds a certain sense of personality because, again, these are just like generic templates that you're using. It doesn't matter who the character really is. Are you going to talk to anyone? I'm sure they will talk to me. So now there would have to be like a pause between that, or maybe not. You have grown since last time I saw you. So she'll be, oh, I got to keep testing that though. Like if I change something and then I reload it, then I won't have to do this every time. Maybe. No, he's not going to be too happy about this one. Where you get to, you know, she's like nice, but she's also like sort of unworthy of being in his presence, even though he might feel that way basically about everybody. You go here, and then you go talking with the synchronize. And then obviously the same thing is going to be here for every single one. There might be some quicker way to do this when every single one is going to be the same thing, but you could say you should start the music there, but I kind of want to just show that, like, oh, it's the party scene and this is what we're doing. So again, there's going to be a lot of those where like he just doesn't want to talk. He just won't even say anything. Or he'll even be looking maybe off to the side. Let me see. Right, and then he'll ignore you for a second there, and then you get to he's just like that with everybody, though. It's nothing personal. It's nothing against you. It's just that people are all worthless idiots. And in a certain sense, within this elitist victim blamer perspective, he would even feel that way about himself. So he's an elitist even to himself. He doesn't think he's accomplished as much as he could have, and he thinks he's a failure in a certain way. But that shows you how high his standards is. Imagine you cured cancer and you're the world's first trillionaire and you do all this crazy shit, and you still think that way. So that shows you what a high opinion he has of people and their potential in general, but what a low opinion he has of people and what they actually do. So even for himself, he doesn't entirely, you know, respect it, or his standard is just so unbelievably high. This one will still be basically the same thing. Like she either doesn't know any better or whatever. And so you have let's see, what could she say now? This I kind of like, because instead of writing in a short story too, you would be cutting out all the little descriptions. You would just kind of be, you know, more worried about the dialogue and the direct interactions that you're having. So that can sometimes be more my style too. You get caught up in pages and pages of like, oh, let's describe this environment, let's describe this. But instead of having the background to do the work for you here, you would have the ability to basically, you know, just show it like in a movie or something. What? Oh. Um, this cursor does kind of fuck everything up. What did I use it for? I used it for like Contradiction, that little full motion video game, and then I used it for like something else. The I mean, obviously the Great Ace Attorney itself, because of course no games ever have a custom cursor in them. So let's see, what would she say here? Something kind of a little condescending and annoying too, where you'd be able to, see, even that's kind of like a canned line, but maybe she's meant to be that one of those type of characters. You just want every sort of line or something to have its own identity to it. So you'd kind of push the point. She'll do most of the talking, basically. It's good to see you. Or like the dad will do the talking instead. You're looking handsome today. And she'll have like a nickname for it. Maybe she kind of likes the dad, even though that sort of shows her innocence too. Like that she's not even all about money, or even though she's married to a rich guy. That could be like a nickname for the dad. So the music is still playing the same way. It's good to see you. Like now is she saying it's good to see you to the dad or to him? Could be either one. It's meant to be like, it's good to see you. Like she's just carrying on the conversation because he won't say anything. And so now he could respond back. Let's see. You gotta always do the character first. Or he's always embarrassed about everything. And this is actually the real canon interaction too. I didn't realize we were going towards this. The characters just happen to line up. Synchronized text with that, and then you get to do the background, and then you get to do let's see, user defined places, do that. What you can do now is the simple ability to, how long have I been fucking doing this anyway? This has been a while. Okay, so he would say something like, it's good to see you, Ma, you're looking handsome today. And he's dressed like a butler. Oh, my son treated me to a new uniform. It's nothing really. And he doesn't like being called necessarily like my son. Like, call me something more, you know, whatever. Like my boss, basically. We'll do another ... to sort of represent that. Or shit, we fucked it up because we have to show him first. Okay, go none. That is so weird that you can't do that first. Like whatever you put first appears. No, I don't know. Like it would cover it up, but like maybe the character is still showing up, but it'll. I guess you could test that. You could put the character, then the background, and then see if I don't know, if one appears behind the other. So I'd go here. He won't actually even say anything. Do not talk. Go here, and then you get to basically do the environment again. And if you can do that, then okay, that's good. This is a little bit harder to do, or I'm just out of practice with these kind of things. I did a couple writing streams for my whatever Wednesday format a while ago, but I'm definitely out of touch with this sort of thing. Or she'll be like all encouraging and nice about it too. So we'll do the Brighton one, we'll do it here. Or he should almost be embarrassed there too, but my boss, my boss got me a new uniform. I mean, my boss got me a new uniform, and then she'll sort of play it down a little bit like, oh, you know, we know how much he loves you, he takes good care of you, whatever. Right, so it's sort of like, oh, you're always being a dick to him, but then you don't have to work for him then, right? Go do whatever you were doing already, but you were a poor, useless idiot would be kind of the, you know, expectation. So, you can't do it, you can't do it. Okay, we'll do this one. And we will do make her appear. It's not like I'm actually going to even ever finish it or release it, so all these little nuances of this don't really matter as much. We know how much he loves, how much the little one loves you, that kind of a thing. You can do he, but that's too much like her. Once again, like the third count of the short joke type of thing. Maybe I'm overdoing it. Well, talk to you later. And again, the whole joke you're playing on is like he didn't even say a thing. So she had like the whole conversation by herself, I mean. Right, he said nothing the whole time. Two dot dot dots. We know how much the little one loves you. Well, talk to you two later. Right, so you're both making fun of the fact that he doesn't say anything, and then you're making fun of the fact that he's short constantly. Where did she say it? You've grown, even though you're still not very tall. It takes like an hour to do 30 frames of this. Fucking stupid ass shit, man. Too large for what, man? I hate that. Or you gotta save it and then it works, maybe? I guess that is sort of how it works. You're always used to me, useless to me. Let's just watch the most recent thing. I'll end up doing the whole thing as one fucking scene, which is maybe, I hate this kind of food. Are you going to talk to anyone? I'm sure they will talk to me. My, you have grown. Or you could say, my, have you grown since last time I saw you? It's good to see you. My, you're looking mighty handsome today. And then giving him a pet name, basically. Oh, my son treated me to a new uniform. It's nothing, really. My boss got me a new uniform. We know how much the little one loves you. Well, talk to you two later. Okay. And so she's one of those people, like, either she's too innocent for her own good or she kind of knows what she's doing. And she's sort of being a little passive aggressive and weird about it. But the whole implication is even the fucking character profile is roasting her dumbass. Socialite, also known as, like, what is a socialite? Oh, just the wife of a successful man, which again, that's just the interpretation in this context. See, this is why fiction and writing and everything has to be so free from any sort of whatever, like, oh, you'll get offended, but it doesn't matter if it's offensive. It's like, oh, I'm writing a character who's meant to be a killer and a criminal. It's like, they're not meant to be good, so they should offend you, right? And that's the whole point of the story, is that they're gonna get caught or whatever. So you can't really be too whatever. It's just, you know, maybe a character is a dick. Maybe that's part of the point. Like, so why is all this not appearing? Or it's like almost you can't handle it. But I don't know how you do the scenes. Like, if this is a preset, it says scene somewhere else, but here it doesn't seem to acknowledge it, so I'm just doing it straight by the frames. But it seems like it's getting overwhelmed almost and overloaded by a mere 30 frames. Okay, maybe that's good enough. Maybe I should do a little more chess even.